What's up guys, it's Get Ready to Battle, and welcome to a Minecraft Redstone showcase. Here is a Redstone build that I've managed to make. I don't think anyone else has made one that's like this. Then again, I had a custom need to make it. This is a flush, tileable lava farm. Now what does that mean? A lava farm, if you have, for this I'm using orange concrete powder to represent lava. Lava on top of a solid block, on top of dripstone, on top of, or with some air between, a cauldron, then you will get lava. As you see, there's a little water particle, but if this is lava, the way that spreads, I forgot I have a button for this, then eventually you'll see these lava particles. Eventually this will fill up with lava, and then we have lava in the cauldron. That's the only renewable way, I believe, in Minecraft to get more lava. Why is it nighttime? The flush part means it blends in with the wall. So if we replace this, you have no clue about this. Now a button is more easily just explained with decoration, and this stone bricks could also be part of decoration, but also really does help make it look nicer when it's active. Tileable means you can have an exact copy next to it without causing any problems, which is useful in case there's actual redstone lines, which has problems. This works right here, but if it's this, then this system being online can turn this system online, and you don't want that to happen. So this is able to be directly next to each other. You don't have to worry about there being an individual wall of blocks saying that there isn't a problem. Now, the logic behind this was I don't know if Mobo Jumbo is the one who originated this idea, but of a hidden crafting table. I like this idea of, oh, it's hidden and totally nothing's bad, so you can have a nice wall. And then bang, useful item. So I basically tried to do this whole thing, but instead of this crafting table, have it be a cauldron that fills up with lava. To do that, I made this design. Now, I'm not going to do a block-by-block tutorial. I'm going to instead just explain how it works, so you can try to make your own designs based off it. Now, I think this is pretty small. It's 4 by 6, assuming you count all these and you don't count the bottom block that's holding this. Again, I think you're able to replace it, but no. Also, you don't count this wall, which probably does count, but you're already having this wall in your base. How it works is, eventually this this cauldron will fill up with lava. That will cause a block update to this observer. This observer will see, it will power this block. This block can be any block that can receive power. Probably one that doesn't spread the power either, so just like random dirt or anything. That will power this sticky piston, which when powered from one tick, which is what a dispenser and observer does, it will grab this block and move it down here. Now it will also power this redstone repeater. This having a change take place will see this observer being powered, will power this normal piston, which will push up this composter that has a little bit of stuff in it, powering this comparator, powering this sticky piston to push out this cauldron. I should have just done it to show you, or to demonstrate. In fact, can I do this, so I can show you exactly how it looks. You only need to look at this bottom 3 by 5. There we go. Now it does cause a second charge to go through the system, because this extending also causes an observer update, but I don't think there was any other way I could have this work semi-automatically. But now we have lava, I can easily access it. Now the way to reset is, I believe there is, assuming you try to make it tileable, no physical way to receive this taken a bucket from. There might be. I don't know when, at least. Still, I have a manual system set up. This block that's holding the dripstone and the lava gets powered through this block after this button gets pressed. An observer sees that and sends a pulse to a 4 delay repeater. This repeater will then power this normal piston to push this comparator block that's powering this comparator back down, not unpowering it, pulling this block back to be here. That will cause one tick pull. The cycle will go again, 1 tick pulse up here to push it out to here, to cause cauldron here, block here, back how it originally was, along with powering this to push it up. But at the same time, this powering off should happen, causing them both to try to stick this composter right here. To demonstrate, it sticks out. It's okay. I honestly don't know exactly why. it doesn't cause the normal system works. But if this is any less or this is any more, then it causes the loop of it still being powered afterwards, causing this block to get stuck over here and this cauldron to be bouncing between these two blocks. I don't know why that happens, but I just know it happens. And if you know why, put in the comments, because that would be useful for me. You need these blocks to hold this lava right here. And that's the only reason these blocks need to be here. If there's a way to somehow make it smaller, that'd be nice. If you don't want all this open space, maybe you want to help against against mobs, this is a way to place some more blocks in, specifically this one, and these three. Inside of which everything is fine. Some of the major problems with trying to make this smaller is for the swapping mechanism, at least how I know it. You need piston, block that gets moved, block that's currently existing, and this block needs to be on the same level as the cauldron, which needs dripping stone, normal block, lava, which is going to be 6 blocks vertically, no matter how you look at it. There's a way to somehow make, say, this outward block maybe over here, then you could have it be a 5 tall, which would be nicer. And then for horizontally, you need the wall itself, you need cauldron, you need a piston to move the cauldron, you need power to move the piston. And I do not think that there's a way to do movable power source that isn't 2 blocks, which is, in this case, composter plus comparator. Now, technically, and that is what the, oh, I broke the piston. Do I have another sticky piston in the system? There it is. Here. And that is as small as I think I can get. You might be able to do another way, but if you know a better way, please leave in the comments or make your own video, and I'll eventually watch it, hopefully. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, some changes you can make is okay, I'm not certain about that change. I haven't done it recently. But this just needs to be any block that a comparator can read. So it could be a lectern, it could be a copper bulb that's turned on, it could be a cauldron with something in it. There's plenty of things that you can use. This one, I believe, is the cheapest. So I'm trying to do a cheap design as my final goal. One composter needs 7 slabs, and that's very cheap, and then one of literally anything that goes in one, such as a seed you find off the ground, seems pretty cheap, especially compared to the 7 iron of a cauldron, the copper plus blaze rod, or going into a trial chamber for the copper bulb. There's another thing. Oh yeah, lectern requires bookshelves, which require like either you have to go to a place that has a bookshelf, or you have to kill a bunch of cows, which then you have to find cows and yada yada. So I think this is cheapest. The whole materials is 1 comparator, 2 repeaters, 2 sticky pistons, 2 normal pistons, the mechanism of your choice here, and 3 observers, along with a redstone lamp. This redstone lamp can also be replaced, I know, with a copper bulb, but I think this one's cheaper because this needs glowstone. But the bulb either requires you to go to a trial chamber, or requires you to go fight blazes, which I think glowstone is easier than the blaze part, and I don't know who just goes that quickly into trial chambers. Outside of that, I think it's relatively cheap. I don't think it requires you to go to the nether, so I guess it's not cheap because you still need 3 pieces of quartz to make the observers, and also 7 iron. But I think the iron's relatively fine. You need like what, 11 iron? I think that's manageable. Dripstone might be hard to get because you have to find a certain cave, but that is kind of necessary for the farm. I think the key part is just being able to hide it in your build, but if you want like pure efficiency, you could just replace this whole thing with just more cauldrons and then make this whole thing into a room. Because like this is much more effective, just doing something like this, and then maybe you can put some decoration to make it look nice. This is specifically to have a nice flesh farm. Over here is an example of it previously working, to show that it does work side by side. You just have simple ones here. Now most of these blocks can be fine, but specifically the ones that are near the lava source need to be non-flammable. You can't just have these burn. When I first tested it, I was doing a different version and had this be wool, which burnt, and that was a terrible idea. So don't make this with like wool. I guess actually probably wool color number 1 for these two, wool color number 3 for this. Seems like it would work, but not this. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and please stay tuned for other Minecraft content, such as my survival series. Bye.